Okay, so number 2 says for each description, write a parametric function for each linear graph. So we're trying to come up with these equations as far as the x equation and the y equation. And what is it that we're going to write here depending on the information that we're given. Okay? So first of all, we want to know always is where do we start? And we, again, just like on the other examples, we're going to start when time is equal to 0. Okay? So I don't have to draw a graph per se to figure this out. I can just know that the parametric, the x will start at 8 and the y will start at 2. So that's my initial value. That's where I'm going to start. You can kind of look at it like an origin, if you will, but you don't have to think of it as an origin. Okay, so n3, 4 at time is equal to 1. So one incremental jump. If you wanted to create yourself a little table, like similar to what we did on number 1, you can, and you could say that x is 8 and y is 2, and then at time 1, my x is now 3 and my y is now 4. And you can see right here that there was a drop of 5. So there's a negative 5 incremental jump, which means if I jump down 5 more, this next one would be at negative 2, and so on and so forth at time 2. Okay? Y-wise, you see that it's raising up by a positive 2. So this would be 6, and then 8, 10, 12, so on and so forth. So these are important because these will tell you what the x slope per se is going to be and what the y slope is going to be. So dropping down by 5, we're going to go ahead and write minus 5t. Going up by 2, we're going to write plus 2t. And color coordinating these to match up shows that positive 2 jump per y and that negative 5 jump per x. And that's it for the first part. This is the answer for part A. Now let's go over here, part B, and we're going to basically do the same thing. We want to know where it is that we start. And we will know that by looking for time is 0. So the location of this point right here is negative 2, 3. So we're going to can do a little table. I think the table is more powerful than the graphs in this respect. And we know that negative 2, 3 is where we're going to start. So we're going to put negative 2 for x and positive 3 for y. And again, the time 1 here gives us 1, 1. And again, we're wanting to analyze what is this jump that happened between x being negative 2 and a positive 1. And we see that that is a jump of 3. So we're going to say positive 3. Okay? And it would be, of course, multiplied by t. And then we want to analyze this jump, which is a negative 2. And we're going to put minus 2t. And yes, if you wanted to verify, you could put time is 2. Would be another jump of a positive 3, which would get us to 4. That's what 1 to 4 would give us. And then another negative 2 jump so that it would become a negative 1. Okay? So color coordinating just like we did from before. My rise x-wise is going to match up here. And my rise y-wise is going to match up here. And just like what we talked about before, I start at 8, 2, where time is 0, and I start at negative 2 for x and 3 for y when time is 0. Okay?